Now it is time for the dreaded saddle slot. This is my saddle slot jig. I made it a long time ago and it's served me well. I use it with one of my palm routers and it really does a great job. There are several commercial jigs available for saddle slotting. They work just as well. I'm assuming they work even better. But maybe not. I've kind of got this one dialed in for the most part. I am going to enter and exit here within the frame of this top part. I am not going to go all the way through. There are some jigs and sleds that you can make or buy that use a table saw, and the slot will go all the way through and exit on the other side. And what that ends up leaving you with is a 5mm unsupported piece of wood in the back, and many of those fail. There's just not enough support and that wood will crack and it'll fail because there is so much tension on that saddle. It's just not enough to support it. So I just come down, go over and out. This jig does a lot of things for me. It positions my saddle left and right, forward and backward. This plate comes in and holds it nice and tight, and these wings will determine my stops for my router, and then this piece adjusts my tilt if I ever need to adjust it. So it's got a lot of adjustments on it. I like it, it works for me, but you can certainly feel free to buy your own or copy this lovely device. One of the first things we need to determine is how far away from the edge of the bridge are we going to be with our saddle slot. On the high E side, I believe the plans call for 4mm, which is exactly what I use. And I'm going to go along the same line as the center of this bridge pinhole. Gonna mark 4mm. So that's the front of the saddle slot. And on the low E, the plans I believe are around 6. They measure at about 6. I am closer to 7. 6.5 or 7. Okay, so right there, and I'm going to draw this line and connect the two. And I also want to determine how far over am I going to go. I'm not going to go all the way through, so where am I going to stop? I like to put mine just about 5mm outside of this hole, because that leaves me about 10mm over from the center of the hole, which is where the string is going to be, and I feel good about that tolerance. And I've got that edge. I'm going to use my straight edge. Okay, those are my side stops. That works for me. Just double check and make sure my bridge is long enough. Yep, that'll work. Now I insert the bridge into the jig. Make sure it's clean. All right, these side stops I'll set up, and the slope I'll set up once I have my bit in place. I am using an 1/8 inch downcut spiral bit, and I have an 1/8 inch saddle. The test cuts that I've done showed me that the saddle is just a little bit wider than the bit. Now, one question you might have is, how deep do I make this slot? I like to put about half of the saddle that I have in there. These are usually 12mm. Make sure. Yeah, this is 12mm. And so I like to put about 6 of this in the bridge. Now, some people will put this down almost to the bottom of the bridge, getting this saddle as close to the soundboard as they can. I don't do that. Mine are usually about 6 millimeters down, which means in a 9.5 millimeter thick bridge that I've got 3.5 millimeters between the saddle and the soundboard. That's fine with me. This ebony does a great job of transmitting sound, as long as the bottom of the saddle channel is nice and flat. It needs to be as flat as possible. We don't want any bumps or dings or waves or anything like that in the bottom of this channel. This should be perfectly flat. So use a good bit and make sure that you're not wandering, that your depth of cut is even all the way across. It is vital. Make sure you take the time to set this jig up precisely how you need to, because this is critical. All right, I've double checked, now triple checked. Everything is tight. All the angles are correct. Stops are correct. Your passes should be pretty shallow. I'm using an 1/8 inch bit, so my passes better be not much more than a 1/16. I really do not want to stress this bit out, because stressing this bit is going to make it chatter. It's going to make that channel wider. I don't want that. A general rule of thumb is about half of the width of the bit is what you can route, especially in a downcut spiral where the heat and chips are not going to escape as well, so it needs all the help it can. I don't know if the camera can see this, but I just had it set so I would just kind of kiss the middle of that. And looking at it, it just made my pencil line disappear. So I'm happy with that. That is going to work just fine. That's a good angle for it. Yep. Now I am going to secure this to my bench and finish this off. Right, that was at 5.24. .603, I'll take it. I'm going to pull this out of the jig, then we'll start sanding it up. Just a real quick visual on the fit. So the fit is tight enough so that if I put it upside down, it's not going anywhere. Of course, it's too long, but if I just put it on that side, also it stays in place. That's what I want to see. Just gonna go over this once more with some 400. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Get the edges, break those off. Yeah, that feels super smooth, pretty waxy. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So I'm gonna hit this with a little wax, really make it pop. Doesn't take much, but this will also show you if you have any trouble spots. And I see one. I see a little swirl mark there I need to get out. Okay. So I saw that little trouble spot and then just went back and hit it with 220, 320, 400. Hit it with the wax. Just make sure if you do this that you do not go underneath the bridge with the wax, because you will foul up the glue adhesion surface. That looks like a bridge to me. One last thing before I finish up with the bridge. The weight on this before, I think, was around 37 or 38. I was hoping to get it to somewhere between 32 and 34. After the saddle slot, the countersinks, and radiusing underneath, 33. So to me, that's perfect. That's exactly where I want to be. I'm going to call that good and move on.